The 100, Season 3, Episode 9, Stealing Fire. I definitely have to say that, of course, the ending, more than anything else, was just insane for this episode. I couldn't believe that they actually did that so close to killing off yet another character. And despite how much I really enjoyed Lexa, Lincoln has been in the series since the very beginning. And he's definitely, despite his position within the series, of course, Lexa technically had a more important role within the series. Lincoln has definitely been in it way more often. So it's very surprising that they did that, for one in general, because of course, he's a popular character, I would assume. I don't know the polls on which characters are popular or not popular. But I was very surprised by the ending that they had. I really thought, the plan worked, they escaped. It already had enough tension because it's like, we have both sides of the story, because of course 2 weeks ago it was all Grounder stuff and what's happening with Lexa, then her death, and then the last episode that we got was all about Arcadia and everything that's happening there and the politics and people getting sentenced to death towards the end. And then we have this episode which splits the timeline, or splits the time within the episode between both stories. And so we have both Clark and Murphy, still at the tower, still trying to figure out what the heck is going to happen next, who's going to be taking over. Like I guessed a long time ago, of course, the girl did end up coming back, and she was actually working under the king, who's currently the king of Asgetta. But, she's still one of the Nightbloods, and it's like, alright, well, she has a right to fight, even though she's, like, kind of just crazy. And super, crazy, but she was really smart. Murphy mentions, like, it was kind of genius. It was messed up, but a bunch of, kill a bunch of kids in their sleep, and technically you win. It was a crazy way to do it. And honestly, it's all fighting anyway, so I was like, it just makes it, more crazy and visceral. But what were they going to do? It's like, anyone who has that blood is allowed to fight, but none of them were going to be able to stand up to this girl unless they teamed up and took her down. That's all there was to it. It's like, I just don't see how that could have gone any other way possibly, even if they, did it the normal way. I would have preferred that, because she still killed a bunch of kids, and, she just has their heads in bags and stuff, and I was like, that's freaking nuts. But, of course, she takes over as a commander in a bit of a cheating way, which I can't wait to see how this plays out, because the Grounders have their rules, and based on the way it happened, of course, because the Flamekeeper, he has decided that he's going to make Clark a Flamekeeper, which I thought was really cool. And, of course, he kills himself at the end of the episode, so she's the last one. And I'm very curious how they're going to, whether or not they'll even accept that, because it's like, well, she's, Sky Crew, the girl wants all of them dead anyway, so it's like, that's one aspect of it. And then Luna, who left to begin with, I don't know if they'll really follow the rules or not. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that clash of, old rules versus just pure hatred, against all of Sky Crew. I'm curious how that's really going to play out with the people. So I'm looking forward to that. Murphy, I don't know what's going to happen with him. He's just freaking trapped now. He gets beat up, he gets taken there, and now he's stuck because he was there, when she's like, well, just say that I'm the commander, say that the ritual's been finished. And so he's like, well, I like my head, so I'm here, whatever. So now he's just trapped. I don't know what's going to be happening with him. He's just stuck. But, we'll see what goes on there. And, I totally jumped around, but my initial point of even talking about her was the fact that with everyone that escaped from Arcadia, they don't have anywhere to go either way. And I don't know if they're going to go to the dropship. I didn't think of that until just now. But that's a terrible place to go, because it would be like, well, they're probably at the dropship. That's basically one of 3 locations that are left, in the series. We, of course, don't have Mount Weather. And, it's just like even after their escape, where we have Kane and Sinclair, and, of course, it's initially meant to be Lincoln, we have them kind of just out in the open, and they don't really know the story until the horns go off and everything. So Idris found out that there's a new commander and stuff like that. And maybe they'll just go to the cave. Maybe that's all they truly have. They'll, go get Bellamy, and it's like, hey, we're stuck, because they don't have anywhere to go. They can't go back to Arcadia. They can't, of course, go anywhere with Grounders, because once she's in charge, which will be, the next episode, that's it. She's going to put out basically a hit on every Grounder, or every person from Sky Crew, and they're done for. So I don't know. It's like, man, them killing off Lincoln. It's like they already have it bad enough because they don't have any home anymore, and then they officially kill him because he has to go back and he sacrifices himself for his people. So yeah, that was a really sad scene, of course, at the end. The one thing that was impossible to miss was the fact that Octavia was super upset, and once Lincoln was dead, it went from like it was like she was gonna cry more before he was actually killed, and then all of that just drained away, and she was in like Terminator mode, and it was like she just scoped out just across. It's like, okay, Pike is dead. So now that they've done that, it was like, of course we all want Pike gone anyway. Now we have a character that, more than anyone else, because I kind of wanted Kane to take him down, of course, but based on what he did by the end of this episode, it's like, well, of course, Octavia is the one that deserves to kill him whenever that happens. And clearly it will, because once you go, from like tears to like straight Terminator face, you kill that person. So I'm looking forward to that whenever it happens. She's got to be the one to kill him. At least the final blow has to be from Octavia. So we're definitely going to get to see that. I'm curious what they're doing with Bellamy, because of course he was technically captured and he was never, like he went to meet Octavia, but he was technically captured. So I'm not sure how they're going to play that, if they'll ever let him go, or if he's just going to be stuck with them and they won't be able to find him in Arcadia. But I'm not sure. I mean, he made his decision to work with Octavia, but of course it was kind of too little too late, I guess, and so she knocks him out. But we'll see what happens there. The promo seems to really be focused on Arcadia again, which I'm totally fine with, because we get to see Raven fighting against this AI within her body, and she wants it ripped out of her, and she wants Abby to do it. And also, because I definitely can't skip over this, Abby and Kane share a kiss in this episode, which I don't know if I've been missing a ton of subtlety, but I just haven't noticed any sort of relationship stuff. There's like one scene I can think of, and it's when they first talk about being Chancellor and stuff, where she's like, you're really made for this, when he tears off the patch and stuff and he's trading for food with everybody. That's really the only scene I can even think of that even remotely has a hint of a relationship between the two of them. But I didn't hate that. I was like, it seems super quick and out of nowhere, but because of where their characters have come from, and because they have always been, whether it's been friendly or not, it's, of course, starting from season 1, they've always been in very close quarters. Their storylines have always been 1-in-1. So I think it kind of makes perfect sense, and I really enjoyed that. Actually, it was like, it seemed like it came out of nowhere, but based on everything they've gone through, it's like, that kind of just makes perfect sense to me. And it didn't even seem rushed. It was like, that just logically, just the way everything's played out through this series, I was like, I'm actually totally fine with this seemingly coming out of nowhere. And it did just come out of nowhere, because especially when they have like their final meeting, and she's like, I can't go through this again, of course, which was him dying. And I was like, are they just together already or something like that? Am I just missing something? Did I miss something like a long time ago that I probably did, and I just can't remember maybe from the last season? But it was really good. I was like, I actually really enjoyed that. But I'm really looking forward to this next episode, where we get to see what the heck is going on with Jaha and his struggle against Abby, who's of course trying to just destroy all of this crazy AI crap. And now she has her answer, because everything was like, something's weird, something's going on with these little crazy chip deals. And so now that Raven's able to fight back, she can tell her this is exactly what's happening. And I don't know, I doubt they'll kill anyone. I doubt they'll kill Jaha in the next episode, where Abby feels the need to take him down or anything like that, because they've already killed off 2 people. They can't do it another time. It's just so close together, they just can't do that. So, hoping, I could easily be wrong with this show, but I'm hoping I'm wrong. But I'm definitely excited for it. I can't wait to see how everything plays out with Clark and her going to find Luna, who I feel like we've seen as well. I remember her mentioning that name, and I'm like, I feel like we met Luna before, and I could easily be wrong, and it has only been referenced. Or she's only been referenced, through dialogue. But I was like, I feel like we met a character, and I was like, this is, Luna, but I just don't remember like that. I feel like that probably was season 1 or season 2 when they did that. So, looking forward to how that's going to play out. Can't wait to see how crazy things get now that we're going to have, basically the war Pike has been talking about. We're going to have that because of all his craziness and how everything's kind of been separated from everybody. and kind of what he caused, it ultimately led to this moment where he's gonna get that war he's always been talking about, and it's gonna be pretty freaking insane. So I'm looking forward to it. Certainly enjoyed this episode, despite how insanely ridiculous it was that they actually killed off Lincoln. It was a good ending, very sad, nice use of slow motion, amazing shot at the end because it was actually raining, and it wasn't like the crazy heavy rain. It was like the perfect little TV droplets, and it's in slow motion and stuff. I was like, this is a very beautifully done shot, but above all else, it was sad that they were killing off a character. I was like, this, I would love for a stupid TV trope ex machina thing to just save him out of nowhere. I'd be fine with that, because we already just lost a character. Like, I like Lincoln in general, but we just lost a character, so that ups it, like, times 10 for me, losing a character so soon afterwards. It's like, I would love for there to just be any sort of random moment that stops this death from happening, but sadly, it does not happen, and he is killed off. Another very minor thing is that Monty does kind of turn on them, and his mother's right there, and she decides to, at least for that moment, not have her son, get arrested and stuff. So we'll see where that takes place, or, well, not takes place, but where that takes things for the two of them. But I'm looking forward to this next episode. Of course, definitely want to know what you guys thought about this one, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, least favorite parts. And of course, the only question to truly ask for this episode is, what do you guys feel about Lincoln's death? Personally, even though it's 3 seasons in, I mean, heck, they killed people in episode 4. They killed Jaha's son. So that, of course, like there's no better example to. I think this character died a little too early, so of course there's that. But I do feel like they killed Lincoln off too early. I felt like there was still a lot more for him to do, honestly, because of the way things started off this season, where he was in this really weird in-between state of being a grounder and being a part of Sky Crew, and I was like, I feel like there's a lot more for that, of that storyline that can really take place, and I feel like it was ended really short. And then even aside from that, he's just a great character, so there's always some storyline that they can do with him, and of course his relationship to Octavia and everything like that. So aside from just what I thought they were going to kind of do and really explore the idea of him being a grounder or being a part of Sky Crew, because there was that kill order on him, it was just, his character in general, I've really enjoyed since the very beginning. He's, the first grounder that was a good guy. So there's a lot of emotion with that. But of course it's sad regardless of anything. I mean, if he was a crappy character, it wouldn't matter. Because when Pike dies, I'm not going to be sad. So the fact that he was a great character in general is just, really sad that he's gone. But like I said, I definitely want to know how you guys feel about his death in this episode, especially in relation to Lex's death, only having been 2 episodes ago. I mean, it's been like over a month for us because of the weird, break thing. But I definitely want to know how you guys feel about his death in general, as well as in relation to Lex's death having been so very, very recent. And of course, I definitely want to know what you guys thought about this episode in general, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.